There are 6 basic fears. Every human suffers from some combination of them at one time or another. Most people are fortunate if they do not suffer from the entire 6. For almost 6 years, while the depression was on, we floundered in the cycle of fear of poverty. During the periods when we were at war or faced with terror, we were in the cycle of fear of death. Even in periods of prosperity and peace, we are in the cycle of fear of ill health, as evidenced by the epidemic of various diseases which spreads themselves all over the world. Fears are nothing more than the states of mind. One state of mind is subject to control and direction. Doctors, as everyone knows, are less subject to attack by disease than ordinary laymen, for the reason that doctors do not fear disease. Doctors have been known to treat hundreds of people suffering from such contagious diseases as smallpox in a day. Their immunity against the disease consisted largely. Number 1. The fear of poverty. Fear of poverty is a state of mind, nothing else. But it is sufficient to destroy one's chances of achievement in any undertaking. It kills off self-reliance, undermines enthusiasm, discourages initiative, leads to uncertainty of purpose, wipes out enthusiasm, and makes self-control an impossibility. It takes the charm of one's personality fully, destroys the possibility of accurate thinking, diverts concentration of effort, it masters persistence, turns the willpower into nothingness. It destroys ambition. It kills love and assassinates the finer emotions of the heart. Discourages friendship and invites disasters in 100 forms. It leads to sleeplessness, misery, and unhappiness. Nothing brings so much suffering as poverty. Only those who have experienced poverty understand the full meaning of this. It is no wonder that we fear poverty. Through a long line of inherited experience, we have learned for sure that some people cannot be trusted where matters of money and earthly possessions are concerned. Many marriages are motivated by the wealth possessed by one or both of the contracting parties. It is no wonder, therefore, that the divorce courts are busy. So eager are people to possess wealth that they will acquire it in any physical manner. Number 2. The fear of criticism. The fear of criticism robs people of their initiative, destroys their power of imagination, limits their individuality, takes away their self-reliance, and does them damage in 100 other ways. Parents often do their children irreparable injury by criticizing them. Criticism is the one form of service of which everyone has too much. One's nearest relatives are often the worst offenders. It should be recognized as a crime. In reality, it is a crime of the worst nature for any parent to build inferiority complexes in the mind of a child through unnecessary criticism. Employers who understand human nature gets the best there is out of people not by criticism but by constructive suggestions. Parents may accomplish the same results with their children. Criticism will plant fear of resentment in the human heart, but it will not build love or affection. Number 3. The fear of ill health. This fear may be traced to both physical and social heredity. It is closely associated in origin with the cause of fear of old age and death, because it leads one closely to the border of terrible worlds of which nothing is really known, but concerning with some discomforting stories that have been told. Certain unethical people engaged in the business of selling health have had not a little to do with keeping alive from the fear of ill health. In the main, ill health is feared because of the suffering it causes and the fear and uncertainty of what may happen when death comes. In addition, there is the fear of economic toll it may claim. A reputable doctor estimated that 75% of all people who visit doctors for professional service are suffering from imaginary illness. There is overwhelming evidence that disease sometimes begins in the form of a negative thought impulse. Such an impulse may be passed by one mind to another by suggestion or created by an individual in their own mind. Doctors sometimes send patients into new climates for their help because a change of mental attitude is necessary. The seed of fear of ill health lives in every human mind. Worry, fear, discouragement, disappointment, and love and business affairs cause this seed to grow. Number 4. The fear of loss of love. The original source of this inherent fear needs little description. The fear of the loss of love of someone is the most painful of all the other fears. It probably plays more role with the body and mind than any of the other fear. One of the disgusting symptoms of this fear is jealousy, being suspicious of friends and loved ones without any reasonable evidence. Another is the habit of accusing one's partner without having any grounds. Further symptoms are a general suspicion of everyone, absolute faith in no one, and finding fault with friends, relatives, business associates, and loved ones upon the slightest provocation or without any cause whatsoever. Number 5. The fear of old age. The possibility of ill health, which is more common as people grow older, is a major cause of this common fear. Another contributing cause of the fear of old age is the possibility of loss of freedom and independence. As old age may bring with it the loss of both physical and economic freedom. Some people show a tendency to slow down and develop an inferiority complex when they get older, falsely believing themselves to be slipping because of the age. The truth is that some of our most useful years mentally and spiritually are those in later life. Unfortunately, there are older men and women who lose their initiative, imagination, and self-reliance by falsely believing themselves too old to exercise these qualities. Number 6. The fear of death. To some, this is the cruelest of all the basic fears. The reason is obvious: we know not what to expect after death. The fear of death is not as common now as it was during the age when there were no great colleges and universities. Scientists have turned the spotlight of truth upon the world, and this truth is rapidly freeing people from the terrible fear of death. Through the aid of biology, astronomy, geology, and other related sciences, the fear of the dark ages that grip the minds of people are destroyed, their reason that have been dispelled. The fear is useless. Death will come no matter what anyone may think about it. Accept it as a necessity and pass the thought out of your mind. It must be a necessity or it would not come at all. If death is not mere change or transition, then nothing comes after death except a long, eternal, peaceful sleep. And sleep is nothing to be feared. Thus, you may wipe out forever the fear of death. You may control your mind. You have the power to feed it whatever thought impulses you choose. With this privilege goes also the responsibility of using it constructively. You are the master of your own earthly destiny just as surely as you have the power to control your own thoughts. You may influence, direct, and eventually control your own environment, making your life what you want it to be.